Juneteenth. I mean, it fell on Juneteenth this year, which is huge for a lot of people who don't really understand.
See, they tried to
Juneteenth.
rob Father's Day too, man. They tried to combine it, say get both of y'all out of here. They said we got one and done, y'all. 2 for 1.
Do we get enough love as dads?
Man, you ain't even say Happy Father's Day to us.
Did in the group, I said, I messaged to everybody yesterday. I said Happy Father's Day from all of us.
Don't message me.
Honestly, I did get hella messages though. I mean, that's cool though too. You know what I mean?
You're being fake.
Not nigga. What you mean? Happy Father's Day, guys. To all my fathers that are out there, from all of us here at About the Night, Happy Father's Day. But to my boys individually on the day, I know I woke up and shared some light on my guys. I said Happy Father's Day. It's important to mention it to the ones that are actually doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
So got nothing but love for my guys up here as we're all fathers. Trying to figure out this life of kids. We have no manual, no instructions. We just winging it and doing the best we could. Right?
Why we don't get the love? Man?
Why don't we get that much love?
Why daddies don't get that love?
Because I guess it's just assumed of us. We always supposed to be bringing home the bacon, and it's just it's a normal thing when we're doing what we do, opposed to.
Go ahead, Tony.
I just have a thing on it. The reason why, because
Go ahead.
Tony about to unleash.
Yeah, he is.
He about to unleash.
It's throughout all societies. It doesn't matter what culture society you come from, but it's like a man is the rock, the foundation, the strong one. Right. You know what I mean? And so when it comes to, even when you look at things like as small as abuse and things like that, like, when a woman goes and hits a man, it's almost like, he's a man, he's supposed to take it. We're supposed to take all the hits, you know what I mean? When it comes to, the physicality part, and when it comes to even, throughout society and even just small things, whether it's like, I don't know, say you're going to have like a baby shower. Yeah, the man's supposed to be cooking, doing all the things, doing everything. And at the end, he gets a little praise and gets a little this and that. That's just something, that's the role that in the society we live in, we've kind of been taking on. You know what I mean? We just have to be that strong foundation, that rock to just take all the hits, whether it's, physical, whether it's emotional, mental. We're supposed to take the hits, and to me, I think it's sad because when you look at the numbers, men hold the highest suicide rates. You know what I mean? Men have to be the ones to tough it out and to stay silent and to be strong. And it's like,
I feel exactly what you're saying. Though we do take that big burden, and it's just as men, we're supposed to be strong.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for laughing at that, what you said, because it was serious about the suicide rate. I just, off camera saw some funny shit. My bad. It was ill-timed. It was an ill-timed laugh. But I see that, because the pressure of being a man and raising a family and having to be the one who's always strong, not showing the weakness, can definitely get to some people, And for those who are having suicidal thoughts, there is a hotline that you guys can definitely call. You can definitely tap in with some of us on About the Night, and we'll at least direct you to the.
Okay. It's coming from somebody that was you do that shit on the phone. They be shooting shit like, "Don't kill yourself. We might send cops to your house." You get a fucking list. Trust me.
Man, ain't nobody gonna.
Someone gonna try to kill themselves. Google or whatever will fucking shoot shit at them immediately.
Bro, ain't nobody gonna call you. As soon as you start talking about Steph better than LeBron, they gonna jump off that building. They gonna be like, "Oh hell no, hell gotta be better than this."
We'll see.
Viewer discretion advised.
Yeah, for real. Because honestly, don't even get me going back on that subject. We can argue all day.
To what you said, I think that's accurate. Especially in regards to suicide rates. It's way up there. We are. The world is lifting. I'm going to say something a little controversial, man. Rest in peace to the man who I first heard this from, K.F. Samuels. Lifting is built for the shoulders, not the hips.
What?
Say it again.
Lifting is meant for the shoulders, not the hips. So we have to lift the world up with shoulders. And we are always in a position of having to keep things the way they are and have to take it without saying anything. Yep. So we can't even complain about it. So for example, there's a lot of atrocities that women go through. Tons. And we can go back in history how women have been treated. Straight trash. Mm-hmm. They literally were just able to vote, a grandma go. Yeah. Right. So we're not gonna pretend that ain't a thing. Mm-hmm. But they got outlets. Yeah. When a woman complains online about their life and stuff like that, they're met with sympathy. When a man complains, they say he bitching and he weak. That's the difference. So men, we have to go about it from a silent perspective. and we have to struggle in silence.
That's facts.
Like we have to, and we just got to deal with it, and we got to adapt, and that's our job. And to be honest with you, I ain't complaining about it. We supposed to.
Yeah, I feel you there.
We're supposed to lead. We're supposed to lead, and we're supposed to lead. And this is just me. I'm a little bit more old school than more people, but I feel like the man is supposed to lead, and I feel like the woman is supposed to do her best job of supporting him to make sure that he can keep his head on straight long enough to keep the family unit moving.
Why should there be a woman? Why should there be a woman? Why can't it just? Why got to be a woman?
What do you mean?
So my bad. People, we talk about being fathers and knowing what to do. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, like we're supposed to do that.
Yeah, we should do that.
My thing is this though. My only gripe, and it's not really a gripe, but it's kind of like a concern for myself, is realizing, at my age where I'm at now at 37, and I've learned so many things between 30 and 35. It's crazy. I think between the age of 30 and 35, I've learned the most.
Right.
And my father wasn't in the household. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy that, we're supposed to, we may or may not get that blueprint because it's like we think we're okay, right? We grow up being like, I don't need my dad. I'm going to be different. I'm going to be like Will Smith. I don't need him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be like that. But it's like once you go on later in life and you make mistakes, you're starting to realize, whoa, wait. If somebody else would have told me this before, I wouldn't have made these mistakes. Shit. And you start thinking to yourself, damn, like this is why it's important to have a man and a woman in the house. And the only reason I say that, and it's no gripe against like, gay marriage, all that stuff. Like no gripe on that. My thing is just when you're a boy, you're growing up, seeing those interactions between a mother and a father would have helped me. Like just seeing how a dad would treat a mom and how a mom would treat a dad. I actually could see two different perspectives every single day and not realize that was affecting me as a child growing up to where now I make better decisions or decisions that are more calm, more reasonable, more practical. You know what I mean? Later on in life to where I would understand, why I'm making the decisions I'm making, outside of that. So like, I think it's important when it comes to fathers having that blueprint is really making sure that the kids do have the mother and father in there. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I've actually often said, when it comes down to equality, that's the big thing right now. Me Too, the equality and things like that. If this is my perspective, and this is my opinion, equality to me doesn't mean same. To me, it means as far as equal outcomes. I think it's equal importance. Both the mother and the father have equal importance. In their position and in their roles.
Right.
But I think that's the issue. But for dads, like Chris Rock said, man, all we get is the big piece of chicken.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm willing to take that big piece of chicken. I ain't turning down no breast.
I get the turkey leg at Thanksgiving.
As I was talking with another friend, and he was telling me his downsides of him and his dad not talking, and as they grew up, his dad was angry about some of the decisions that he had made and was trying to, not necessarily torture him, but like put him down. Like, if you don't come back, I'm going to report the truck stolen, and, giving him the hard stuff. And basically, once we get to a certain age, when you're an adult and you grow up in that, dual home family, I guess you bump heads with the dads more often. Why? Because as men, we're trying to tell you certain things to say and certain things to do. But once you're growing up, you really don't want to listen to those people in charge. They feel like they're kind of bringing you down or holding you back because they're telling you not to do certain things. So like when we were having that conversation, he was just like, I grew up with my dad and everything, my mom, but we were always butting heads and we were always angry. And I turned and looked at my brother, and me and him laughed. We both laughed like, we ain't have to worry about that because our dad wasn't around to bump heads with. We could do whatever we want. And I always felt like because he wasn't really around when we were growing up, I always grew up with a chip on my shoulder. Like I could do this because he's not here.
My biggest thing that I would have thought not having my dad there, and now it's crazy because now my dad's around a lot now. And so it's crazy. Like now I'm starting to figure out who I am. Like I'm like, oh, that's why I'm like that. Or that's why you never question that. Like, dang,
no,
why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like
it's funny is because I actually reached out and went out there to where he was at and spent some time with him. And when I spent some time with him
in Jamaica,
no, it was in Jamaica.
Where's he at?
He stays in Florida, right next to Jamaica, right next to the beach, man.
Right near the beach.
Wagwan, brethren.
Jamaica, we have a bobsled team.
When I went out there, I started seeing things that he would do.
I wish I remember the song.
That reminded me of things that I would do. And I ain't seen him, and he ain't been my father in years. You know what I mean?
And I don't know, man. I feel like, we live in a woman's world. We like to think that this is a man's world, but To be honest,
world, it's not.
It's not. You know what I mean? This is a woman's world. So I just feel like as men, like we're conditioned. You know, like you guys were saying, like we're the rock. Like you got to take care of your woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like the females, like we got to take care of them, like our wives, our kids, our daughters. You know what I mean? Like that whole new hashtag that's going around, like girl dad. You know what I mean? It's just your condition. I feel like from birth to just take care of the female.
What y'all feel? What do you guys feel? Because I'm gonna say how I feel, but I want to get y'all's opinion on it. How do y'all feel about women who celebrate Father's Day? The mothers saying it's another.
I don't feel no type of way about it.
A second Mother's Day.
I actually call my mom and tell her Happy Father's Day.
I want you to go first.
Well, no, it's just in general. I show my mom a lot of love on Mother's Day. That's when you nurture her. We take her out. We have a good day. But at the same time, when I was raised by my mom, I didn't have that father figure, so I'm not going to disrespect her because I'm not saying that she had to step up and be the father, but she was doing the father thing. She was working 2 jobs, trying to feed 2 big-ass growing boys.
That's not father thing. Keep going.
It ain't. No, but she was trying to take care of us, signing me up for sports, changing me into different schools, making sure I was being active in school.
That's not father.
It's not.
No.
She couldn't teach me the certain things that I needed to be taught. I get that. I had to learn those things on my own, but at the same time, I didn't have someone to harp on, and I couldn't cry because I didn't have that guy there. I just had to make do. So I give her kudos on Father's Day as well because she raised me.
I think it's more than just what the father says. It's the example that they set.
Yeah, what they're seeing.
We're so visual. We want to see it. For myself, my dad was there, but he was a much older man. So I lost my dad at a young age just because of his age. My dad was old enough to be my grandfather. You know what I mean? He didn't have the best health either, especially going late in his life. But there was a lot of stuff I remember just him, what he did visually, I still take to this day. Like now. Like that I'm still able to insert and teach and hand down to my son, even when I don't even know I'm doing it. That's the key part. It's subconscious. How I act, how I interact with my kids and stuff like that. He comes out through me. But I do want to stay on that topic. This is no shot at all the moms that's out there doing their thing, especially the single moms that's out there that's having to take on, fill that void if a father is not there as much as he should be. But I'm gonna be honest. None of you mothers should be celebrating no Father's Day. I don't give a fuck.
You gonna piss off the LGBTQIA plus? I said that right too.
You're gonna unfollow me. You can unfollow me, block me. Don't give a shit. None of you mothers should be celebrating Father's Day. You shouldn't be celebrating Father's Day. What you should be getting is a immaculate Mother's Day.
Yes,
and be celebrated to the highest degree because you are an A+ mother, and your job deserve and what you have done is just extraordinary. But you damn sure shouldn't be taking that Father's Day role, because what it does to me, this is my thing. This has nothing to do with the mothers. What it does is when a mother takes that day and tries to claim that day, you're trying to diminish works of all these fathers out there. I'm just being honest. Hey, I don't care. Unfollow, block, don't give a shit. Matter of fact, I might unfollow your ass. If I catch you on Facebook or Instagram or anybody
comment on
celebrating Father's Day as a mother, it's done.
It's that holiday for that. It's called Mother's Day.
It is. I give her love on Mother's Day and Father's Day.
It sounds like an amazing mother that deserves fucking hella flowers on that day. We're talking about men though, like what you can teach a man. That's what I'm talking about, because you didn't have your father. I didn't. And the shit that I'm learning now, I'm like, dude. I even tell my dad now, Dad, could you imagine if you were around, like the shit you tell me now, like, oh my God, like.
You probably wouldn't have wanted to hear it though. You probably would have butted heads with him. Probably would have argued because he was around so much. And you would have thought of this bickering and him just like.
I'd have been smarter. I'd have been better. I'd have been more enhanced. You know what I mean? There's so many things that I realized that I would have done so much better had I had my father then. Like realizing, like, only a man could teach you that. Only a man could teach you. You know what I mean? Little tiny things, even how many times to jiggle your penis when you have to urinal. How many? There's things that a woman can't teach you that, like dead ass. Like I know it sounds very small. Like, oh, that's so ridiculous. No, you don't understand. It goes far.
And that is no indictment on you as a mother. Mm-hmm. That doesn't diminish your role. That doesn't diminish your work and your extraordinary parenting that you've been able to do to uplift your kids and put them in the best position and put them on your back where someone else was there voluntary or involuntarily. Mm-hmm. You had to step up. Somebody had to step up. You should just get a triple better Mother's Day. Right. But you should not celebrate on Father's Day, because what that does is diminishes all the father's work out there. Yeah. That day is there. Bro, we already only don't even get a fucking sale. Let us get something. Yeah. We get the big piece of chicken and we get half off on ties. That's all we get. That's all. And the NFL season. Don't take that from us. There was a comedian, man, I forget his name. He was saying that he said that Mother's Day, second most celebrated holiday. Oh yeah. He said that the first one is Christmas. So he said, let me paint the picture. He said, it's Jesus, then your mama. Right. It's just like he said Father's Day. He said Father's Day was down to like 20, like 22. He said it was. He said it was below like Flag Day or some shit.
Damn, I forgot about Flag Day.
Like we was like way down the line. It's just like fathers don't get shit.